So it's spring in the air where you are. By the amount of snow and the temperature of my mill table, it's not here yet. However, we get the first of the year's bike parts show up. This is a foot brake lever from a Ducati Diavel. Fella had a misfortune late last summer and dropped the bike on his side. Not good, but he broke the little stub from the foot brake lever. So our plan today is to remanufacture the stub. We're not going to weld it to this. What we're going to do is counterbore a screw in from behind and make up a new part and bolt it to the front instead. So to get this underway, the first thing we need to do is create a flat here for the new part to bolt to. In order to do that, we're going to clamp it by this boss in the casting to get it parallel with the table, which will bring this piece parallel. We'll give it a little support here with a lightly tensioned jack, and we'll put our cutting forces this way so that any cutting pressure will force it down and out as compared to pulling it up into the cutter. Tension on our jacket. So we're just going to take off the bare minimum necessary to get a flat round boss for our new part to attach to. It looks good. It's a bit of a rough casting around the edge anyway. Now that looks good. We'll move on. So the setup to do drill and counterbore for the back is essentially flip the lever over. We found the right amount of packing material to get this snug here. So now we have to locate center on this casting. They do have a bit of a V-hole in the back of it. So all I keep handy is just a small piece of round with a couple of different angles cut on the ends to help in locating center of holes that don't need to be very precise. So 60 is a little too sharp for this one, so we use the 120 side. We'll bring our spindle down, use it to align approximate center of this end of the shaft, and then tighten up our clamp. Let's do some measurements on our bolt here. I'm thinking that's 3/8. 371, so we'll do a 3/8 counter bore. 1/4 inch deep. We're still recording, yeah. Okay, so for our counter bore, we're not going to go to full 1/4 inch depth of this. I don't want to take any more metal out of this than I really need to for strength. We do have clearance behind, so I'm going to go roughly half of it or 1/8, and stainless bolt. It'll still look nice next year, and we'll just leave it sticking out the back a little bit. So that's an 1/8 inch deep. Yeah, we're going to have, like I said, half of it about sticking out the rear. Should be fine. So at this point now we've got our lever prepped for the new part. We cleaned up the original weld attempt counterboard for the back for our bolt, and at this point now I guess I get a bit of artistic license as to what to put back on there. The original was just a stub with a rubber coating over it, pretty unattractive. So what I've got planned is to make a new piece from aluminum, roughly in this kind of shape. We're going to do inch and 1/4 long peg with, and we're going to run a round nose bit in there and put a bit of traction on it that way, as opposed to a knurl, which is way too common. And we drill it for our bolt and tap it, and we should be good to go. So first things first, let's bring this down to our peg diameter of 650. 51 works too. Okay, so now we'll drill and tap a hole in here for 1/4 bolt. Deep, so we'll just use tailstock graduations to measure that. Should find the bottom of this now very shortly. That's pretty much it. So what I've got planned to do these grooves is to get set up at the end and then advance it by, well, 283 I believe is the number we came up with for our center distance on our grooves. Plus the first one will be half the thickness of our cutter. Then we'll advance by our 283 until we get our 5 grooves done. So we touch off at the end and we'll set a 0 on our compound, which is set at 90 degrees. First groove will be 361.5. I'm not sure on the depth of these grooves yet. I think I'm just going to go with what looks good. So we zero out our cross slide and continue on till we figure out what we want to use here. That's at 80 on our cross slide, and I'm kind of liking the look of that. So it looks like at some point there I messed up the math, and we have 4 grooves now instead of 5, but I think we can part this off and still have a very nice looking piece when we're done. Okay, so we're just going to scale off our overall dimension there. We'll part this piece off, and then we're going to flip it around and try to do a little finishing on the other end of it. Okay, so just to finish out this end, what I've got done, I got the compound set 3 degrees off of 90. We're going to put a small bevel on the end of it, and we'll take a file to it and give it a small radius and finish it up with some Scotch-Brite. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm thinking once we clean the threads and put on a bit of Loctite, it's going to be quite alright. Beats the hell out of no brakes anyway. Thanks for watching this one. We'll see you next time. What the hell did I do with that?